try. And I have a hawk as a pet, and a frog as a servant. Ha! I don't believe it. I always thought those mice were telling stories. If you're so great, why did I catch you so easily? Gentle couldn't respond to that. He just closed his eyes and waited to be eaten. Do you know the reason this family decided not to get mouse traps? After a few seconds, Gentle realized she was waiting for his answer. No. What's a mouse trap? A small wooden object with a piece of cheese on it. And of course, those brainless little things are so hungry. They would run straight to the trap, full of excitement, and then snap. Fiery slammed her paws together on Gentle, taking all his breath away. Snap, he said. The trap falls on the mouse and kills it. But the family thought it would be cruel to use mouse traps. They thought it was kinder to let me do it. But I have stood and listened to the conversations those mice have, and in my opinion they deserve a bloody death for their stupidity. Gentle hadn't heard much about humans, but Fiery's story made no sense. Why would humans care about how they kill us? I mean, we die either way. Fiery laughed bitterly. You remind me of the little girl in my old house. She always asked stupid questions, too. You were in a different family? Gentle asked. In reality, he had no interest in the past life of this murderer, but as Fiery continued to talk, she held his tail less tightly. Oh! Fiery raised her other paw to her head in a gesture of pain. Yes, I was the beloved pet of a wealthy family. That is, until they got that beast. A tiny, happy, disgusting dog. I did what any kind, thoughtful animal would do. I put it out of its misery, and broke the spell that it held over them. I mean really, how could they love such a pathetic creature? You must know all about that. People hate you because you're pathetic, don't they? Normally, this would have struck Gentle's heart. But he was already at the peak of his sadness. Yes, I am hated throughout the forest. Exactly, said Fiery. You represent everything that is wrong with the world. You are the weakness that must be killed. The little girl didn't understand that. She made them get rid of me. Fiery stared into the distance, her face folding into anger, crushing Gentle with her paw. Now I have to get by in this dark, dusty house, living on old scraps of fish and greasy little mice. I am going to very much enjoy eating you, though. You've got a nice smell. Fiery lifted Gentle to her mouth. Wait, he cried. Haven't you ever considered moving to the wild? Fiery paused and looked at him with a cold yellow eye. I may be cruel and strong, but really I am a house cat. I like the comfort of a warm fire and a bowl of milk. Even if it is old milk. We could be strong together. The stories about me are not completely true, but I did change the great lion Crush. He no longer has his teeth or claws. And yet he killed the king of deer, because I told him to. Bright Eyes the hawk may not be my pet, but she does serve me, she is the one who flew me here. Fiery stared at him suspiciously. And how did you manage that? I am not strong, but I am convincing with my words. Just as you are. He found a confidence growing in him that he had never experienced before. Yes, you caught me, because I was without my allies. But together, we would be so powerful. Wouldn't you prefer that to eating old fish in a poor person's house? You are fat from the meat of my brothers and sisters, but once you have killed them all, what will there be for you? Will the humans still need you? They clearly feel no love for you, but the animals of the forest could at least feel fear. Fiery thought over Gentle's words for a long minute. She threw the mouse between her paws as she did so, making sure to never let go of him. He felt her sharp claws brush against him more than once, but he said nothing. And in the great forest, there are many other mice? Gentle smiled bitterly. Yes, there are many, stupid mice. 3 cheers for Gentle. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Beneath the humans' house a feast was going on. There was bread, cheese, raisins, apples. The food was piled high and the mice ate without fear. When Gentle had come back with the bell, saying that the cat was gone, nobody believed him. But after Crackle went out and investigated the house, she declared that it was true, even though she didn't look like she believed it herself. As a result, the fantastical stories of Gentle's bravery came back. In fact, they grew even sillier, and by sunrise they were telling stories of Gentle riding Crush into battle to defeat the King of Deer. It was the first time in Gentle's sad little life that he had been the center of attention, and he didn't know what to do with himself. At first, he said no, but as he ate and drank he enjoyed himself more and more, and finally started agreeing with the stories. He had missed his family, he realized. Crackle stayed at the edge of the party and went to bed early. Gentle tried to talk to her, but the other mice were pushing pieces of cheese in front of him, demanding he play a game called Cheesy the Rat King, where he had to put as much cheese into his cheeks as possible. And he could not play that, could he? The next day, Gentle woke up with a huge headache and Crackle staring down at him. Have fun last night? Yes, I did actually. Sorry, Crackle, I hope you don't think I don't care about. I didn't really do anything that special. I just talked to the cat and convinced her to come back to the great forest with me. Funny. That's not what you told the others. Gentle went red. Things were a bit crazy last night. I wanted to explain. Well, you'll be glad to know that your pet is here waiting for you. Oh. Bright eyes, you mean? And how did you convince her to bow down to you, I wonder? Crackle, you know, it's not too late. You can still come home with me. I can't make up for what I did, but maybe we can have a new life together. The forest is dangerous, but it's a better life than here. Crackle looked like he had just spat in her face. I don't need saving, hero. I enjoy my life as a house mouse. I wouldn't know what to do with all the strange events and strange animals in that great forest of yours. Without another word she picked him up in her arms and pulled him out of the mouse hole. The other mice were just waking up, and a few of them said a sleepy goodbye to him, but he was out of the door before he could reply. Hey! I didn't get to say goodbye to Cousin Nosy. I'll pass on your regards to him. Bright Eyes walked up to them as Gentle rubbed his eyes, which hurt in the daylight. I've been waiting for hours, she said. If you don't get in my claw now I'll leave without you and you'll have to crawl back to the forest. Gentle opened his mouth to ask for a moment to say his goodbyes, but Crackle pushed the bell into his hands. Since we don't need this anymore, why don't you take it home to remind everyone of how brave you are? And before Jendel could reply, Bright Eyes had picked him up in her claws and they were flying away. He turned around to see Crackle staring up at him, before crawling back inside the house. "So what's all this about you being brave? Did you do a magic trick or something?" Bright Eyes laughed at her own joke. "I'm not brave, just a mouse with too much to say." "I'll agree with that. Now, you'll never guess what Speedy's been up to since you were away." Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos.